Okay, this is going to be real time, start to finish, how to do a real simple truss system, designing the gusset plate, if you would, for a 20-foot span. I'm going to make this. So, real time, I'm in Autocad 2009. That's what I've got. Remember, you draft blocks on layer 0 unless you have another reason to. And so what I'm going to do first and foremost, I'm going to make sure that my units are correct. I'm starting here. And real time means, of course, I have to turn on the keyboard. Wireless keyboards are great, except somehow Windows seems to have a problem with them. So we're starting in, I'm not even really paying attention to which template I'm in, because I'm going to really be doing everything on layer 0, but it is worthwhile to have a template. And if you're smart, you can even have one that doesn't have a sheet on it, because that's just extra stuff you carry into Inventor. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say layer, and I'm going to check. I'm going to be drafting on layer 0 in a little bit. Make that my current layer, though he won't always be. And I'm going to say units. And I want my units to be architectural in this case. And I want the inches to be the insert content. So I'm going to hit OK here. And I'm going to real quick just draft up here, if I would, turning off F8. This is just drafting a rectangle, hitting escape, escape, escape. Rectangle. I'm going to go here at 20 feet by 20 feet. We'll call it a ravine there. And I'm going to zoom extents, and I'm going to going to click on this. Left click spacebar, C for copy to the end point. Could have used an array. I'm going to get rid of this thing. I'm going to erase that. I'm going to offset each of these 0.5 inches, so I've got something to kind of give myself a little bit of a thing to go to, and I am going to then click on this, explode it, and click on this, explode it, and I'm going to change these just to center line. That one there, and that one there, and I'll change those to layer center line. Alright, so that's just going to give me something to go about, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to offset. I'm going to give myself a 5-foot depth on this one. Just give me some, so I'm going to more or less span 20 feet with 2 by 10, if you would, solid steel, 3/4 inch by 10 inches in terms of width of the beam. So I'm going to offset this. Offset, we said that was a half, so I'm going to go 5 feet 1/2 inches. So I'm going to go down here. That's going to give me some line down here. I did it wrong. I said that was 5.5 inches. So I'm going to say offset 5 feet dash 1/2 inches. And so getting used to dealing in inches and then feet, kind of an important thing when you get in AutoCAD. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to extend out through that. Right across, 1, 2, 3. All right, so I've got some, can also put that on the center line layer. So I've just got some basic information here, and it's probably a good idea here also to take my line from the end so I'm not an inch too high. Kind of establishing what are your datums is what we're going to talk about here as you get towards Revit. You know, these little kind of idiosyncrasies when you're cutting steel or dealing with floor or top of steel or top of first floor is going to become important. The datum shifts, I'm getting rid of that one, that one, that one, and I'm getting rid of this one here. And this is probably going to not look so great if you're looking at it. I'm up at 4 minutes now. We're doing this exactly real time, and now I've kind of got some good basics here. Now one thing I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and in the short term I'm going to trim out using that edge and this edge. So I want to definitely get a center line established for what I want. Spacebar, trim. So we're going to trim that edge with the red edge there, hopefully, and the red edge there. I'm going to grab there and grab that edge. Grab that edge, and if I list that, remember using the list command a fair bit, or it should be 11, 19, 11, that's fine. I'm going to offset, or I can just go here, a line from the midpoint of that, have my F8, my ortho on, and change that to center line. And what I'm going to do here when I go through my process here, I'm going to give myself 1/2 inch between each member. So what I'm going to do is an offset 0.25 from here, and I'm just going to draft up the right side. So what I can do now, however you care to do it, I'm going to go ahead and now draft on layer 0. I'm just going to try it with the rectangle command. Rectangle from the intersection here. And then to some arbitrary, though I don't really want to make it arbitrary, I'm going to say to the dot x of the end of this, and the dot y is going to be kind of tough to do, but I'm going to do this like here. Just put it arbitrary. I'm now going to draft a line from near to there and then move it up 10 inches. Now I can, I think, if you think about it, I can grab that, or I can grab this, or take a window across, remove cross here, undo. Okay, I guess I don't want to do that. I'm going to explode that, offset through. This is definitely not the way to draw a 10-inch box. So fill it, radius 0. I've got this side here, and I've got this side here. And for grins, I'm going to go ahead and right away do a p-edit. P-edit. I would have some of you try to do it with a region, and be curious how that comes across. And take that 1, 2, 3 pieces. They all go together. And you're going to see what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to put in a point right at the more or less the 0, 0 point, the datum there. And we're going to use that in all of our entities. So we've got that kind of laid out. In all reality, we really only have one thing that we're going to really need to use per se. So we may try to just do it this way. We've actually just going to change the lengths on a couple of these. So really what I'm going to do first and foremost is I'm going to copy, right away do a -b for block. The block name is going to be, I guess, plate steel 10 inch. Just do that for there. And I'm going to use my insertion base point is going to be the node. I'm going to select my objects 1 window here, grab also that point, and then what I can do is I can then say oops and bring it back. Alright, so I've got one entity there. The other thing I'm going to now do is I'm going to offset 12 inches. I'm sorry, offset 12.25. Offset that line. Which one is it? Get rid of this edge here. So offset 12.25. I'm offsetting here, offsetting there, and I am going to now just draw a gusset plate that's 24.5 by 24.5. So I can do that by saying rectangle from the intersection here at 24.5, comma 24.5, and then now a -b. We'll call this gusset. Insertion base point is the node of that. We're going to grab the box. We're also going to grab that point. We're going to say oops again. And now finally what we'll do is we'll go in, and I won't go through that, we'll go into the b-edit command, go into here, go to the gusset, hit OK. Right away hit a dimension, so right click on any toolbar and brings up the dimension. In this case they're linear, but aligned is probably not a bad idea to get used to. Spacebar, grab that one, close block editor, yes, and we can go once again b-edit. I'm going to go to the plate steel, and what we want to do in this case, even though it's probably going to be constrained, we're going to once again use a dimension aligned, grab that one, grab that one, grab that one, and even grab that one. We're going to dimension it 4 times. You're going to see that's probably going to be over constrained. We're going to close the block editor. We're going to save that, and we're going to stop and go to the next video in a second. So thanks for listening. We will add one more piece of steel in here before we go into Inventor. But we've made blocks on layer 0. We've kept a point around, and we're going to use Sketchblocks. Thanks for listening.